The Worst Year of Our Lives was taped before a live studio audience.
We are back somehow. It's the worst year of our lives. Guys, it's the first episode of April because we missed a week. I'm Daniel.
I'm Scott.
I'm Gelly.
I'm Drew.
We've got our first ever live studio audience. Say hi, studio audience.
Hi.
It's Al. It's our only studio audience member, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
What's up, dude dogs?
Dude dogs. Here we got some dude dogs in the house. It still counts. It is April 10th, the year...
Oh, do it like we planned.
It is April 10th, the year 2000, the Lord's year 2000. We are in Denver, Colorado, the city.
The place, not the man.
Not the man. And it is a pretty famous episode of Monday Nitro.
Yeah.
And one
Maybe
that...
the best.
The best episode ever?
of Nitro.
I don't think so.
It's an episode of Nitro.
I honestly...
Technically.
It may be the episode that has aged the worst.
Yeah.
In all the years. Because
we were talking about this at the time. Like, I think at the time this probably tricked people into thinking it was good, if not at least interesting.
It was good enough to get you to buy Spring Stampede, you dick.
And watch it by myself.
Yeah.
What a day on April 16th, 2000. What was going on in my life that I watched Spring Stampede 2000 by myself?
It just dawned on me that the really good Triple H Taka Michinoku match from Raw went head-to-head
Is
with this
head-to-head
show.
with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That match
That's
is
right.
awesome. Go back and watch that match. Don't watch this in Nitro.
Turn off this podcast.
Yes.
Go watch Triple H Taka from April 10th.
Yes.
2000.
So this is the infamous Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff reboot
This is
episode.
the reset.
And something that usually gets said about Vince Russo is that he's always really good at starting things off, writing first episodes of things, and then it's from that point on that things fall off the rails and don't make any sense and don't line up with what's happened previously.
But we question even that assessment of him after watching this show.
This show is such a train wreck.
It's horrible.
At one point in like the most like ironic, like completely like unintentionally hilarious line. Where is it? It's Tony Schiavone who says it. Oh yes, Tony Schiavone about maybe a third of the way through the show says there's a train wreck every segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fact.
You got it.
Yes. Not the train wrecks that he's referring to, but we will get to that. So the show starts with everyone in the ring in street clothes.
People we have not seen.
Yeah.
For
75% of whom were not seen again on the show and were only flown to the show to stand in the ring for the opening promo.
I would honestly say there was probably 40 or 50 people who were flown in to work this show, and literally they just... Yeah. Because there are only 5 matches on this show.
All singles.
All singles, and 3 of them involve 4 guys in like a little mini tournament.
Yes.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah, it's not even 10 different people.
No, there's 8 people on this show.
Quiet.
There's... So... The show starts with everyone in and around the ring, street clothes. Of course, Jeff Jarrett, who's all over this show. Big surprise, because he's good buddies with Vinny Rue.
Maybe you didn't hear... They didn't mention it much on the show. He is the chosen one.
Yes.
So...
That's
on the table.
He cuts a promo. He makes a bunch of WWF references. The first of many WWF references.
Yeah, so we're going to need to scratch the NWO theme count, because NWO's done.
Yes.
We can maybe still keep the Slapnuts count. We could probably still keep the H-Bomb.
There were a lot of Slapnuts signs.
Yes.
There was also a Harris Brothers lick Jeff Slapnuts or balls.
Yeah. But what we need to institute is the WWF reference counter.
Yes.
Because holy shit.
So many.
10, maybe, on the show?
Easily.
Yeah.
Probably low blows as well. That's another thing we need
Jesus
to...
Christ.
Yes.
Are they illegal? I don't know!
Vince Russo comes out to Iron Man. At this point, I wrote...
Like the actual song.
But no lyrics.
Yeah, just an instrumental. Yeah. My notes read, Russo out to Iron Man, I already give up. I've decided this podcast is over. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we tried.
I don't have another 9 months in me. He rambles on...
That's what my girlfriend said after the pregnancy test.
Okay.
Crickets.
He rambles on. He makes a ton of the WWF references.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
And talking about... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just say, and then like when he got introduced, it was Jarrett like, here's Vince McMahon's best kept secret for the last 6 years in the WWF. Like,
Yeah.
it was already getting thrown out there.
So he rambles on some more. Eventually, he's cut off with someone over a mic saying, "Are you done yet?" It's Eric Bischoff who comes out to his AC/DC knockoff theme, but with no microphone.
Without a microphone, so how did he say that?
Yeah. So is it him on a backstage microphone, or
Is it part of his music?
Are you done yet? Is that the 2000 Nitro equivalent of his 2002 I'm back?
Yeah, or his, like, oh, you didn't know.
Exactly. So Bischoff calls out kind of the four older main event guys.
Yeah. Some of
The
them
good
were
old
like,
boys.
who are like probably around the same age as Jeff Jarrett, who's one of the young guys. They're maybe a little older, but
no,
not
they're
much.
they're all older than him. But
At first I was confused because they're like, them good old boys. Like, and so I'm like, are you referring to like Jim Ross and like the WWF or like what?
Yeah, no, like you could tell they're referring to people in WCW, but like it wasn't really clear who.
Yeah.
It's like, the way they're saying "good old boy," like it sounded very southern.
Yeah.
yes,
but
well,
it wasn't.
at that point, they're talking. I'm pretty sure they're referring to the former booking regime that took over for Russo after his initial 2 months was a train wreck.
Yeah.
Which we skipped out on because that's the end of '99,
yeah.
and we started in January of 2000 with a committee that consists of Kevin Sullivan, Mike Graham, Mike Graham,
Terry Taylor,
Terry Taylor, Bob Mould of Husker Du.
Yep.
I think Mike Tenay is on that committee.
Yeah.
Maybe J.J. Dillon. Anyways, they're all out of the picture. It's the Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff show. And we got Sid, Sting, Lex Luger, and DDP as the four Millionaires Club members. Although
they weren't referred to that yet.
No. And eventually they do start referring to them that way.
Just on commentary.
But it's just never... at no point do they say, we're the Millionaires Club.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just
no.
like a thing that they're referred to
Yeah,
as.
they are dubbed that.
Sorry, just for reference point, all of those guys except for DDP are within 8 years of Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
Sure.
Age-wise. Like,
I mean, 8 years... I mean, that's a long... I mean, that's a career. So that's... I mean, that's not that close. But Jarrett started really young. So Jarrett's only like 30 here.
But he has been wrestling for close to 15 years.
Yeah, he debuted in 86 or 87.
Jarrett's
Yeah.
50 right now.
Yeah.
In our Lord's year of 2018.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
hard
Okay, so
50.
he's 30.
A hard 50.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone seen the clip of him on Triple Mania last year?
Oh, yeah.
Throwing out the
Tossing out
tortillas and like
tortillas.
drunk off his
Yeah,
ass?
barely being able to stand.
Which caused his career in TNA.
Yeah, basically. So because it's Vince Russo and we're resetting the clock and starting from scratch, everyone's getting stripped of their belts.
Yeah. Even Jarrett, who's the chosen
Jarrett, who's the chosen one. Sid, who's the heavyweight champion, who says...
has like a stare down with Bischoff.
Yeah, he says, if you want to strip of the belt, you got to come and get it. So Bischoff, who like...
Bischoff says okay.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, I'm not scared of you, and like doesn't put over Sid whatsoever. No. And then goes out and dresses him down and makes a bunch of insider references to him about softball and like, whoa, what's the matter, Sid? Where's your scissors? Which doesn't get a pop.
So then.
Because no one knows what it's in reference to, which is the 1993 stabbing incident with Arn Anderson.
But Bischoff just thought people didn't hear him.
So he goes, what? What's the matter? You don't have your scissors?
Scissors? Like, more emphasized the second time. Again, no pop, because people still don't know what it is.
No one popped for anything on this show.
No.
It was just like white noise and booze.
Everyone
basically.
was just confused.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I'd have been baffled at this show live.
So we get the first Hogan shows up.
Yeah.
He's all over this show.
Yeah.
So honestly, like if you count up every segment,
Uh-huh.
it's got to be like a dozen segments.
Easy. Easy.
And they're like, some of them are just like 8 seconds.
Oh, there's lots of cutaways.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cinematography of this episode, it's real well thought out. So Hogan and Sting backstage. Sting kind of tells them like, yeah, it looks like Bischoff's gunning for you. Hogan starts taping his wrists.
Yeah.
He tapes one wrist, and then he's kind of fed up, like, oh, I gotta go get Bischoff. Fuck this.
Ugh, I hate taping wrists.
And so he
Doesn't
walks.
Vampiro come up and talk? No, Sting comes up.
It's Sting. It's Sting. Yeah. So Hogan goes off with the one wrist taped. the other, the wrist tape in his hand.
Roll of tape in his hand.
And then the next, 3 segments that we see him is...
You're like, is he going to tape it?
No. Doesn't tape the wrist and continues to just walk around with it. Okay. So, titles have all been stripped. So, we're told we have a 4-man tournament. The winner of this little mini tournament will face the chosen one, Jeff Jarrett, at Spring Stampede for the vacant heavyweight championship.
So, they have a 4-man tournament.
Yes.
Winner faces Jarrett,
Yes.
who was the U.S. champion.
Yes.
Why not Sid, who was the world champion?
Because he's not on the side of the Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo, who are not partisan bookers.
So, even though the big thing they were extolling was that everyone's on an even playing field now.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Just checking.
Yeah, no, they're hypocrites.
All right.
Yeah.
I get it.
They're also completely inconsistent because the one of the
This didn't piss off our studio audience at all.
Oh yeah. No, I think this exclusively pissed off our studio audience. Match 1 is DDP versus Lex Luger. Both of them come out to maybe 5 seconds of their music before it just
Cuts off.
Yeah.
They don't get their pyro.
Yeah.
Luger doesn't get his light show for his flexing routine.
Correct. Kelly, what are Lex's stats? His vitals.
I believe he is 6'4", 235 pounds, 4% body fat, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Good to know.
Made of glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this match sucks a big one.
DDP.
Takes a sweet dive to the outside, doesn't he?
No, that's later.
That's later.
That's later.
That's against Sting. DDP does some of the most shit punches I've ever seen.
Shit punches. We joked about doing an over-under for Luger's bumping, and
Yeah.
then we didn't actually do it. But I think if we had done the 2.5 we had discussed, it would have been under.
I think we're at
It was
3.
3? Okay.
Because we didn't know whether to do 2.5 or 3.5.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
But we were right with the odds making because
Yeah.
that's right where it was.
Yeah, fair enough. Lousy match, and then thus begun the theme of the evening where someone
else's entrance music plays.
And in this instance, it's Buff Bagwell. Comes out, gets pyro, music, distracts...
Tries to fuck Elizabeth.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you're right. Elizabeth, yeah.
No, is it,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's not Kimberly
I
Page.
was thinking Kimberly, too.
He used to try to fuck Kimberly Page.
He's
Now,
he's over that. Gotcha.
He tried both.
he likes brunettes.
Our first low blow, or maybe 2 low blows, occur in this match while
Yeah.
distractions are going on. Diamond cutter, finish,
Yep.
socks.
This sucks.
Quick backstage, really a nothing segment, but we're probably going to talk way too long about it because we do that. Curt Hennig in a sleeveless turtleneck.
Hold on. One more time?
Curt Hennig in a sleeveless turtleneck.
I've never seen this piece of clothing before or since in my life.
No, never.
What is this?
I don't know.
And it wasn't a turtleneck that he cut the sleeves off. It was made like that.
It was made that way.
It was
He was
2000.
born this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a different time.
We need to go back to the future, guys.
We do.
We need to bring back so the scary thing is eventually the fashion from that era will become fashionable again.
Absolutely.
As things happen.
Cycles.
We all just need to dress like Harlem Heat 2000.
Oh, man.
It's gonna be a lot of sleeveless turtlenecks, a lot of everything tucked into everything.
Lots of-
Nobody wore an untucked shirt.
Lots of massive pleated pants.
So many
too.
pleats.
Yeah.
100 pleats.
Anyways, Hennig manages to politic his way into a match versus Jeff Jarrett later tonight, where if he beats him
He gets Jarrett's spot.
in the tournament,
At the end of the
the
tournament,
bye to the finals,
who fights the
basically.
winner
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
4-man thing. Doesn't matter. Doesn't happen.
Maybe the best segment on the show, Tank Abbott comes out.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get some kind of closure to the...
Tank Main, goddammit, the best possible match in WCW 2000.
Sadly, I missed out on these segments because I haven't been here for a few weeks. But
Yeah.
instead, he cuts kind of a lousy promo. He just kind of rambles on.
Yeah.
He calls out
Goldberg.
Goldberg. He says that he's going to... If Goldberg doesn't come out, he's just going to start beating people up and taking no mercy.
Goldberg doesn't come out because he's probably still in the fucking hospital. Getting transfusions.
The person who he references that he is going to beat up if Goldberg doesn't come out is, in fact, Mother Teresa.
Yep.
Who has been dead for years at this point.
Correct.
And then instead says, well, I'm just going to start jumping people here. And he chooses to jump Mark Madden.
The correct choice.
100%. If you could have jumped anyone on this roster, on this show.
Anyone in that arena.
Yeah.
Mark Madden.
Yes.
Fucking Pigman. Rips the shirt off.
Yeah.
Beats him up. Does not beat him up enough.
Should have beat him up harder.
Should have taken liberties with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
100%.
Hit a couple of tummy punches, but could have been.
They were light.
I would have, I get it. You don't want to shine up the face, but,
Sure.
that body is getting...
Work that body.
Yeah. He's getting liver shotted to death, if it's me.
But hopefully this at least means Madden's out for a little while.
Hopefully, because he sucks.
Yeah. Which is why they had the 3-person team of Madden, Shivani, and
Scott Hudson.
the new addition of Scott Hudson. Scott Hudson's fine. So
I like Scott Hudson.
No complaints.
At this point, we first see a guy who has painted himself completely green with a sign that says, "The Real Incredible Hulk." Big fan. Hogan and Bischoff kind of politic backstage. We don't really know what it's about, but Bischoff's trying to appease Hogan, but he gives kind of a shifty look, so you can tell something's happening.
Bischoff's gonna fuck him.
At this point, Kidman comes out. Kidman, at this point, has been a babyface this entire year.
Yeah, chilling out with Tori, filming stuff on the kid cam.
Just having a fun time, having matches, whatever. Countering powerbombs, facebusters.
Yep.
And just out of nowhere, calls out Hulk Hogan, calls him an egomaniac.
Calls him a piece of shit.
That's
the other thing too. There's a lot of everyone saying shit.
A lot of bleep shits. He says, Hogan has said in the past that he couldn't draw flies, but if anyone knows anything about drawing flies, it's Hogan because he's a piece of shit. He says he has something Hogan never had, which is heart. Two things. He said heart and talent.
We were thinking Tori Wilson and shooting star presses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both more important than heart and talent.
He says if Hogan had balls the size of his bald spot, that he'd come out. There's actually some pretty good lines in this.
I think Kevin's in the top 5.
Yeah. Kidman might be in the top 5. There's someone else who is at the top of my top 5.
He's not number 1.
Show.
Kevin's not number 1.
No, Kevin's not number 1.
No, I agree.
At this point, we see Hogan...
I think Tank stays in the top 5 for taking out Madden.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. At this point, we get the first... more Hogan just walking through hallways. That's kind of the story of this.
Yeah.
He's walking through the hallway. He sees and hears Kidman on a monitor. A type of monitor you probably would not be able to hear someone on. He comes out. They have a brawl. Kidman just gets pinballed all over ringside and takes a pretty good ass kicking, actually. It's not a bad brawl. It's one of the highlights of the show, probably. Bischoff comes out with a chair with a chair.
Yeah.
Kind of hums and haws, and he's like, "Yeah, go get him, Terry. I got the chair here in case he fights
I
back."
wish he said, "Go get him, Terry."
And then, while Terry is punching old Pete, shoot names. I'm just like the Observer in 2000, so.
But shoot names in brackets.
In parenthesis, yeah. Bischoff whacks Terry upside
right in the head.
his ball-sized bald spot.
Yep.
And really hard, actually.
Pretty hard, yeah.
And then
he was short range, but it was hard.
Yeah. It was like the 1 inch, Jeet Kune Do punch
it was a real
of chair
1 inch punch.
shots. And then Bischoff counts the pin. There was some...
Hogan put him over. You put him over, bro.
It wasn't a match.
There was some dispute as to whether it was a match or not.
Bischoff counted the pin.
1, 2, 3. Kidman's music plays. He put him over, bro. Hogan did a thing, man. He fucking put over a young guy. That's what you're supposed to do. He's giving back.
He does technically put him over later. It's one of those bullshit put him overs, but Hogan takes a pin from Kidman.
Yes, we're pretty sure it's on next week's Nitro. Maybe a week after that. Who knows? We'll get to that.
I don't know.
We got a Flair promo. He talks about Vince Russo and hating Vince Russo's guts. Makes a bunch of references to Brian Greasy
and John Elway,
who were the current and most recent former quarterbacks of the Denver Broncos. Scott Steiner comes out. He's barely coherent.
Yeah,
he's all over the place.
And then we found out why, right?
Yeah, he's wearing fake teeth, like yokel, goofball, kind of practical joke teeth,
but with no real reasoning.
Does Flair have big teeth?
He's making fun of Flair's fucked up teeth. Because the last time he was the last Nitro before the reboot, he was shit talking how Flair's like this dining
69.
He's this big fancy man with a lot of money, but he's got fucking smoker teeth, and they're all fucked up. And then that's why this promo he's saying that, well, at least you bleached them, but they're still all fucked up.
I didn't hear it.
That's basically it verbatim. And then he also discussed like, have you looked at the WWF? All their champions are guys that used to be here. They went away because you wanted to put yourself over to be the 14-time world champion.
Yeah.
And with your fucking smoker's teeth. At this point,
I did not catch any of that.
I did catch that actually.
I caught 14-time world champion. That was
Yeah.
the beginning and end of what I caught.
At this point, Shane Douglas jumps Flair.
Yeah. Shane, who's not in the company.
No.
Hits him with brass knucks. Drops an elbow on his face.
Shane Douglas, who tried to leave
With the Radicals.
with the Radicals, and then was told no by the WWE, so he just like didn't have a job for a while.
Yeah. I think legitimately, like, the Sullivan-led committee was like, okay, fuck off then.
Yeah.
And then Russo
Yeah,
and
and
Bischoff...
Shane's like, oh, you called my bluff.
yeah, but Russo and Bischoff seeing dollar signs in Shoot Angle's brother.
Douglas Flair, baby.
Bring them back. Let's bring back that 1995 screw you Dick Flair heat. So, we have, again, there's so many segments where it's just like 5 seconds, guys arriving, guys sitting in the audience.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash arrives, Bret Hart sitting in the audience. This is where the train wreck every segment comment gets made.
Yeah.
We have Shane Douglas cutting a promo with Mean Gene, who is fired the fuck up.
Mean Gene should be in the Hall of Fame.
Honestly, he was so
He's great.
good here.
And like, just Mean Gene versus like current WWE robot female announcers,
So
like,
good.
interviewers.
So
Jesus
good.
Christ.
And like,
They're
he's...
different species.
And here's the other thing. This is Gene at his worst.
yeah, this isn't prime Gene.
This isn't even really good Gene, but it's just kind of like he's got emotion.
yeah.
Douglas got a pretty decent promo until he used the line, "You've been franchised, my man." I mean, that may have not been his delivery.
It was close.
Match 2, we've got Sting and Sid.
Yep.
Two guys who, in theory, should have been on the end of the let's fuck with the old guys. No music, no pyro. Nope.
They got music and pyro.
Music, pyro, entrances, business as usual.
When both guys came out, I said, this is going to be a sweet match. And it was.
It wasn't great. Sting was good.
Sting was good.
Sting was good. Spoilers, Sting wins this match and is in the finals. Sting is the performer of the night.
Sting has usurped Sid.
Yeah. Sting's great.
Number one in the top
Sid
5.
kind of turned heel in this match.
Kind of, but
I think just for the purpose of,
yeah, but I think
having
all
a
the
heel
old
and a
guys
babyface.
are still technically face.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Sid yelled at the crowd and did a low blow. Or maybe 2.
I think that, yeah, he did a low blow. There was also a really funny moment where they were brawling on the floor and Sting went to throw him face first into the guardrail, but Sid just went straight down into a chair
Into a
and like
chair.
changed his trajectory. I wrote, Sting is great, funny ref bump. Oh, yes, funny ref bump.
Oh, funny ref
Sting
bump.
is making the cover on Sid. Sid kicks out
Does a
and
big press.
presses Sting onto Nick Patrick.
Great. It was perfect.
At this point, the Wall runs in
With music.
With a table.
with a table and music.
Yep.
He comes in with a chair. He waits for Sid to powerbomb Sting.
Yep.
We discuss whether or not that was
That was
supposed to
supposed to.
happen.
Because Wall was behind him with the chair as he's getting Sting up. So we're thinking, oh, he'll hit. Obviously, you'd think he'd hit.
While he has him up.
yeah,
for
have
the
him
powerbomb.
up. But nope, he just power bombs him. And
Yep.
it's like, then he hits him.
Pretty sure he's supposed to hit him like when he had him up for the powerbomb.
I'm going to let Sting take this bump. I don't really like him that much. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm just all about that. Those shoot names, brother.
Sorry, Steve. Said Sid. Shoot names, baby.
Is the Wall's name Sid?
No.
Well,
I know. He'd be the one saying sorry, I guess.
yes, yeah. He's the one who was letting poor Steve get powerbombed by poor Sid. Anyways, he hits Sid with a chair shot, and then he gives him a choke slam
No,
through the
the
table.
Wall's real name is Malice.
R.I.P. He gives him a choke slam through the table on the floor.
It's not a good one.
No, it's basically he
It's a
put
push.
one foot up and then like stood up on his heel and then fell back.
It's your grandfather falling out of bed through his side table, basically. And then Sid gets counted out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Finals Sting versus DDP.
Finals are
Not
that
now,
comes
but
back
to come.
later. This is so stupid. Flair comes back out
Yeah.
just to call Shane out.
Yeah.
That's it.
and then
Yeah.
leaves the ring.
It's
He's
okay.
right.
It's not like Flair's going to make a third entrance tonight.
Sure.
Spoiler. Flair makes a third entrance.
And he's not the only person to make 3 entrances.
No, he's not.
No. Jared actually makes 4 entrances.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. This is the first of many segments of Hogan just rambling around,
wandering.
throwing things,
Bleeding.
freaking out,
Where's
looking
Bischoff?
for Bischoff and Kidman. We see clips from the Ready to Rumble premiere.
Yep.
Where everyone is dressed in full they're at a gala,
Full going to a movie premiere.
except for
clothes.
Vampiro, who's in his gimmick.
In gear.
Yeah, just for the hell of it.
Face paint and gear.
We've discussed possibly as a reward or a punishment watching the movie when the year is over, but we'll see. Match 3.
I don't know. We probably should, because Drew and Kelly haven't seen the movie enough times. How many times have you guys seen the movie?
Like, conservatively?
Conservatively.
100?
Okay.
Nice to see that's the conservative. We've got Jeff Jarrett versus Curt Hennig for the slot as the finalist.
Yes.
And this match was, I think, just called on the fly, and there was a lot of what's going on.
Yeah, there's
happening.
some poor
There's just
communication.
a lot of brawling ringside, a lot of walk and talk, a lot of poor walking and talking.
Yeah.
This is, speaking of poor, this is where we see the debut of Perfection.
Yeah.
The formerly or current, I guess this is his government name, Sean Stasiak.
Which they refer to as the WWF's meat.
Yeah,
He was meat. In
The
the
last time we saw him on television, it was as meat, a bad mid-card gimmick.
Yep.
On again, your competitor, the WWF.
Your competitor who is winning.
Yes.
Handily.
Yeah, but that's classic Vince Russo. He doesn't understand how the psychology of that sort of thing works, and he just wants to be insider and make references to people who are more successful than you are. Again,
You punch up.
bad ref bump. Perfection goes to give
Oh boy.
Hennig something,
He gets him up really bad in a fireman's carry.
Yes.
Like, really off balance.
and then he has to fight to keep him up there.
Yeah. And what's his move?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something from fireman's carry.
Yeah.
Whatever. He didn't do whatever it was.
Maybe a fireman's carry into a flapjack.
Yeah. He landed on his back, though, right?
I think that was just he just kind of dumped him.
Yeah, it was a dump. It was a fireman's dump.
I believe at that point the finish was supposed to be Jarrett just pins him. Referee wakes up from being bumped, counts the pin.
yeah.
But Jarrett, recognizing that it looked like dog shit,
horrible.
picked him up, gave him a hard buckle for some reason.
Yeah.
Which Hennig sold after no selling a buckle earlier in the match.
Yeah. Which he whipped him harder for.
Yes. And then
Picked him up and hit the stroke.
gave him the stroke.
Yep.
Which kudos to Jarrett. He's a fucking
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah, and like when we thought like is he just gonna pin him, we're like, no, it's Jarrett. He's gonna fucking get his move in.
Yeah.
It's like Triple H not pedigreeing a guy after interference.
Basically, more Hogan rambling
Yep.
aimlessly. He
Has
at
he
one
found
point
his way to his limo yet?
At one point, no, not yet.
Oh my
he
god! How many segments.
it's coming up. He's in like the skybox with just like random people drinking, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Where are they?" He's just bleeding all over these
Yeah.
poor VIPs.
Giving them hepatitis C.
Nash, who we saw earlier arrive, he's on the phone with someone saying, "Hey, you should show up later tonight."
Spoiler: he's on the phone with Scott Hall. Double spoiler:
There
Scott
is
Hall is never seen in WCW
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Not only does he not show up later tonight, he never shows up.
Yeah.
But he's referenced again later.
A lot.
We get a quick Sting promo just kind of setting up the main event,
Yeah.
the finals. He's just kind of fired up.
It's showtime.
Decent promo.
Yep.
Flair versus Shane Douglas in, I guess, a street fight.
Well, they weren't wearing gear.
They're wearing street clothes. They brawl all over the place.
They do a low blow right in front of the ref.
So no disqualifications as far as that's concerned.
Right.
There's multiple low blows in front of the ref. I wrote that Shane Douglas's
Puglas.
I wrote Shane Douglas's punches suck, not Shane Douglas's dunches suck. Flair is really good here, actually.
Yep.
I thought his punches are awesome. His chops are awesome.
Yep.
Douglas ends up bumping and feeding for him pretty decent.
He's all right,
actually.
yeah.
It's not bad, but his punches are terrible. And here comes the first of what's going to be a recurring trend all year. Vince Russo sticking his fucking nose where it doesn't belong.
With a bat.
And I don't mean kayfabe, Vince Russo. No, seriously.
No.
Why the fuck are you in the fucking ring? You don't belong. Do we have to watch the rest of this
I don't
year?
know.
He's terrible.
We'll talk.
He shows up with a
It only
bat.
gets better from here.
He shows up.
Nothing big and important happens with him later on.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he doesn't win the fucking title. I think that happens on a Thunder, but
I think I think Arquette's win is on a Thunder.
Arquette is on a Thunder.
I think Russo's on a Nitro.
Nitro,
Yeah.
great. I know for a fact that Arquette is on the Thunder because it was taped and because someone came up to me when I was in class who had read spoilers during Infotech when you
Wow.
had computer time saying, hey, do you want to bet money that David Arquette is going to win the title on Thunder? And I was like, WCW's bad. It's not that bad. And then he brought me to the computer lab during class and he was
man.
like, here's Thunder spoilers, and I lost $5. And that's $5 I could have used. I had just turned 16. I didn't have a lot of money.
That's real money. That's teenager money.
I was really upset. I was really
Don't
fucking
blame
upset.
you. For a number of reasons.
Yes, yeah. I like WCW. It was falling apart in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
Russo beats the shit out of him with a bat, which leads to a DQ.
Yeah.
Then he steals his
Bat,
watch.
not okay.
Yeah.
Low blows, okay.
Fine. Steals his watch. Does a lot of crotch chops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 for 4 on interference.
Russo did not get music, though.
He did not.
Yes. His intro's a little long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No time for Iron Man.
Kevin Nash crutches his
Also,
way
no
down.
time for Love Dr. Jones.
Kevin Nash crutches his way down to the ring. Gets a cheap pop mentioning Denver.
Talks about Scott Hall a bunch.
Yeah, makes a ton of Scott Hall references saying, oh yeah, he's going to come out soon, whatever.
He's not.
Refers to Bischoff and Russo as a bunch of jag-offs, which I appreciate. Mentions how him and Scott Hall saved Vince Russo from getting decapitated by Shawn Michaels numerous times.
Yep.
Mentions how if it wasn't for the NWO and him and Scott Hall, Eric Bischoff would still be getting Vern Gagne's coffee.
Sweet reference.
At this point, I noted that he's got really nice hair.
He's got great hair.
Great hair. That's something that he's... Even when he became a Silver Fox...
Still great hair.
Great hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I bet his hair's still good.
Yeah, no, the big sexy moniker was no bullshit.
Yeah, that's for
legit,
real.
yeah.
Yeah, that was for life.
He's a piece of shit human being.
Yeah.
And, like, ruined professional wrestling pretty much, but dude's got good hair.
Possibly more than anyone.
When we were watching, I was like, is Kevin Nash, like, low-key the most destructive guy in the history of pro wrestling? Like, he might be.
Yeah. But that hair was too sweet. So what are you going to do about it? At this point, current ECW champion, Mike Awesome.
Who was hired by WCW specifically to feud with Kevin Nash because they thought it would be awesome.
Battle of the Giants.
To have these two huge guys fight each other.
Yes.
They did not know that Mike Awesome was 6'2".
Yeah. I think he's probably closer to like 6'4".
I don't think he is.
Was closer.
Well,
He's maybe... I'll give you 6'3". That's as high as I'm going.
sure. I think the fact, though, is Kevin Nash is shoot like 6'9".
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah. This doesn't work.
Yeah. Anyways, he clotheslines him, beats him with his crutches.
Yeah.
That I don't think they ever have a match.
I don't think they ever have a match. He drops the ECW title to Taz maybe sometime this week, I think.
Yes, it's coming up pretty quick because there's threatened legal action.
Yeah. And a guy contracted to WCW versus a guy contracted to WWF for the ECW title.
Yes.
Very odd.
I remember that was awesome when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like looking that up, that was so
crazy.
cool. Yeah.
And then when Taz showed up on SmackDown with the
title.
and
Yeah,
he challenged Triple H.
Yeah. And then he drops Triple H on SmackDown as the ECW champion.
Yeah.
Well, sure. You gotta... Triple H has got to get the rub.
Yeah. Not as good as that Triple H Taka match, though. Seriously, go back and watch that.
Remember you losing your mind? You're telling me you were losing your mind.
Honest to God, that has one of the sickest near falls. I thought that Taka was going to win. I jumped out of my chair. More furious Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
He's finally in the limo.
Thank Christ!
Saying, get that camera out of my face, brother.
White Hummer appears.
It's, surprise, it's Carmen Electra.
Oh.
It's not. The Hummer smashes into the limo 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
It's Eazy-E.
Got him.
And Billy Kidman.
Yep.
They smashed him good.
Yep. Gotcha.
We go to a commercial. When we come back, Hogan's on a stretcher.
Yep.
Being loaded, like, very nonchalantly into the back of an ambulance.
With Bischoff and Kidman standing over him, and Kidman spray painting him.
Yeah.
And the paramedic guy who's like checking on Hogan is like just completely ignoring what's happening.
It's not even like, please don't
No.
do that, sir.
Just like,
it's like,
this is fine.
he's just trying to work around him.
Yeah.
It's like if he was like in a natural disaster.
He's minorly inconvenienced.
Yeah, it's like, well, this sucks, but I got to do my job. We are finally at the main event.
Technically, it is a natural disaster.
It is.
I didn't see John Tenta around, guys.
I didn't see Fred Ottman around.
Oh, shoot names.
Sha.
So we got Paige Falkenberg versus Steve Borden in the main event with Jeff Jarrett on commentary.
Hey, with Jeff Jarrett.
Shoot name. Again, Sting's the man.
Sting's great,
DDP kind of sucks,
but
takes a great bump.
Out of the ring.
First thing.
Crazy.
Goes for the diamond cutter, gets shoved off, goes flying through the ropes.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Sting basically makes his hot comeback.
Yep.
Like, his shine is his hot comeback.
Hey, why do 2 separate runs? Just condense.
Well, there's no real heat in
and
in
every
this
match is 3 minutes long.
Jarrett distracts DDP.
Hold on. This isn't a 5th interference, is it?
It is.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, by multiple parties.
5-4-5.
Because Jarrett distracts DDP. The referee's also distracted.
Yeah.
Vampiro runs in.
Vampiro was a face.
He was.
He teamed with Sting last show?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Was a face. Was having he was a month or two ago teaming with Sid as these guys are going to be like the new faces of WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Hits a laborious nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
On Sting. DDP slides back in, hits a diamond cutter. Bingo bango. You got yourself a main event for Spring Stampede. DDP versus Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
At which point, Kim kind of awkwardly gets into the ring to celebrate with DDP. Jeff Jarrett slides in.
Yep.
He goes to hit DDP with the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
DDP moves out of the way. Kimberly telegraphing this a mile away.
Fucking ducks and covers.
You would have guessed that an A-bomb was dropping.
It's like she was the only one in the arena who heard an air raid siren.
Yeah. It's before DDP is even ducked.
Oh, yeah.
She's covering up.
Yeah,
and she gets waffled by a guitar
better
shot.
safe than sorry.
I guess we can't blame her. This is so fucking stupid. I can't believe this. Jarrett leaves.
Yep.
They go to commercial. They come back from commercial. They show during the commercial, DDP walks to the back with his wife, who's been knocked out.
Full bodyguard.
Yeah,
Full Costner.
Yeah, Costner. No Whitney Houston in the background, but there should have been.
Yeah.
We get Jarrett, Bischoff, and Russo
are right backstage.
Yeah, just kind of hand jobbing each other, basically. Like, do you hear what's going on? They want to hear.
They want you out there, brother.
They want you out there. So they're playing Jarrett's music. He makes his 4th fucking entrance.
Yep.
He got music every time.
Yeah.
He got music when he came out for the promo at the beginning. He's the only one who got music.
Yep.
He got music when he came out for his shitty match with fucking no-sleeve turtleneck Curt Hennig.
Got music when he came
He
out
got music when he did commentary for the main event.
And when he came out again after the main.
To just do a promo.
Yeah.
At which point, DDP runs out to beat on Jeff Jarrett. Steiner runs out to beat on DDP.
Mm-hmm.
Luger runs out to beat up on Steiner. Buff runs out to beat up on Luger. And at that point, it's just Vampiro, Wall, Sting, Booker T, Cat.
Yeah.
It's like 7-on-3.
Yeah, it's a weird mix.
Yeah, it's New Blood and Millionaires Club. They're referring to them as Millionaires Club, although they have not been referred to. They have not addressed themselves as that.
They haven't called themselves that.
And then Russo and Bischoff come out on the stage and finish jerking each other off. And we get Bret Hart, who we saw in a basic cutaway earlier, sitting in the audience. He has now made his way backstage, I guess.
Comes out, looks at them.
Yep.
Show goes off the air.
That's it.
I bet we never see Bret again.
Oh, good question.
Right? He doesn't do anything. He doesn't wrestle.
He doesn't wrestle.
I seem to recall
Does he do something?
at one point, it's when Goldberg comes back.
Okay.
And I remember watching this when I was obviously back at that time, when I was like, what the fuck is going on with WCW these days? And there was a part where Goldberg has Russo and throws him outside in the parking lot. There's a car there and Bret's there, and then I guess Goldberg and Bret are on the same side, and then Bret's like, yeah, you remember Survivor Series, Russo, and then and then Goldberg's yelling, and then when Goldberg turns around, Bret pops Goldberg with something, and then he helps Russo.
This is for scrambling my brains, Goldberg.
This is for ruining my life.
I feel like that may have already happened.
Could that be the end of
99?
That sounds like end of 99.
To set up Starrcade?
Yeah, I think that might have already happened. That might also be around the time that the windows get punched out.
Yeah, it might be close to a window.
Or the time that... this is all a mess, guys. We're not watching 99 either.
After we finish 2000, we're going to go back and do 99. obviously.
We could watch 2001. There's only 3 months of it. Actually, I think by 2001 things get better.
There's a bunch of good cruiserweights.
Yeah, there's a ton of good cruiserweights. Bro.
Yeah.
So, real great reset show. History does not.
Is it the worst show we've done?
It might be.
There was a real shit one in January, but like I might have hated this one more.
I think I hated this more. I've never wanted to quit this podcast more than I have.
Like, the other ones were bad, but at least they had wrestling matches on them.
Usually.
And, like, yeah.
Vince, if anything is the antithesis of pro wrestling matches, it's Vince Russo.
Hates wrestling.
Hates wrestling.
At least with shows with bad wrestling, you get funny botches or like silly bumps and things.
Or Norman Smiley being the man.
Exactly, right? Like, you get entertaining silliness.
Yeah.
But for this, it was just talking.
It's like how we go and watch bad movies that are so bad they're great, but this is just like it's a bad movie that's just a fucking bad movie.
Yeah. Or it's gone past the point of being so bad that it's
there's no entertainment value.
Yeah. There's good bad and bad.
This is bad.
This is bad.
It's gonna get worse bad.
Bad Bigelow.
Is he around?
No.
He's
What
gone
are you
already.
doing?
I think he's done.
You can't be hitting people like that. I ain't taught you that. That was the best thing I
Down the stairs through a table.
Yeah. Go back and watch that episode of Nitro. It's from like February.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, that's fun. Don't watch this. We might see you next week.
Who's to say?